All right, now we're going to head to the hard stuff. Let's see, let me do one more. Now, let's go jump right into the homework. Was it on page 19? So 9 through 14 and then 55 through 58. This is going to be the graphical part of it. In the classroom there's also stuff about the algebraic part. We'll save that for tomorrow. Okay? I want to focus on the graphing mainly today. So this part with the graphing is really what's only going to be due for tomorrow. And I'm sure we're going to have some questions through it for you guys here. I'm sure I'm going to end up going through the answers of these tomorrow, so you can for sure know what's going on. This is going to be big stuff because we're going to end up on the test have about 3 or 4 of these graphs. I have to fill out all that stuff on the green sheet, so this is not going away. This is part of the big stuff I want to do in this first section. Okay. So, number 9, number 10, if I look at these, I'm going to try and do the domain and the range for each of them. Okay? Before I get into it with you, we'll go through them, but I want to show some areas you got to watch out for. So as I cruise down here a little bit, on 11 and 12 you've got some open dots and some solid dots. You got tops and bottoms. You've got some other different areas we run into. I'll probably look at number 12 when you have a nice little solid line, but we should be good for now. Okay? And 13 and 14, if you kind of look at some of these things, keep in mind you're going all the way to the left and the right, and then up and down. Watch out, you can get some of these arrows that are hidden a little bit. So on this one, I can really always make it all the way to the top, not just right there. Okay, let's take a look at number 12 because it's got a couple things in it I want to show, and then I'm going to turn you loose. Okay. The 55 through 58 also has some crazy looking graphs, but I'll let you kind of mess with it a little bit, see what you can come up with, and we'll go from there. So for number 12, I want to do the domain and the range. So domain, on your graphic paper or your homework paper, just put D for domain and R for range for what you need. Left to right. So the first thing I run into on the left is a arrow. So that's negative infinity. That's actually going to go all the way till I get to that open dot, isn't it? Which is at an x value of 4. Open dot. But I noticed that really that also has a solid dot at 4, which we'd think would look like that, but in the reality is that actually keeps on going, doesn't it? The x I used, I still use that 4, so I can get rid of it. I'm still not done. It's included in this, and I can keep going all the way to the right until I get to there, which is at 7. So technically I'm really stopping right there. I'm sure at first you're probably going to write it something like that. But hopefully eventually you'll get used to it being a little bit better than that. Now the range. I'm going to start on the bottom. On the bottom. What's the first thing I get to? That whole line there, isn't it? The whole bunch. Where is it at? -1. Is it just -1? That's it, isn't it? So technically, it looks like that. It's -1. Is it solid dots? But there isn't any movement or any interval. So if it's just a dot all by itself or a line all by itself, just put it in brackets like that. Then what's the next thing I run into? I run into this at 1, isn't it? And that's a open dot at 1. That goes all the way to the top until I hit an arrow. Arrow on the top, positive infinity. And also because, could I put negative infinity on that side? No. And there you go. There's the domain and the range. All right, I've talked enough. Work on 9 through 14 and 55 through 58. You're going to run into some issues, I'm sure, some questions for sure tomorrow. I'm going to end up going through the answers to these and have that video up there for you to look at as I explain through them. And don't turn the assignment in until we get the equation part of it out of the way as well tomorrow. Okay? Make sense for what we're doing? All right, I'll shush. If you got a question about anything now, just holler.